Good evening. This is Warmy, and I'm responding to the 21 Witchy Question Tag that was going around in February. It's already March, but I'm always a step behind. But I figured since my FaceTime on YouTube has been only about 3 months, that it might be information for somebody. So let's get into it. Uh, what type of witchcraft do you practice? The cheap and dirty answer for that would be either I would label myself a hedge witch or a neo shaman. Yeah, uh, that's like a whole video. See, what is my favorite witchy thing to do? Ritual. I for celebration or prayer or spell work. I like setting up and then deconstructing sacred space. It helps. Putting it together puts me in the mindset, and then taking it apart afterward really grounds me. More specifically, I really like pre-ritual. For years, I couldn't have a permanent altar because I had cats that just ran amok anytime I left something on a flat surface. Now, fortunately, I have the luxury of having a permanent altar, but I still keep the habit of um, the day of or the night before a Sabbath or Esbat, I will spend time meditating over the tools I'm going to be using and taking out the stuff that I want to have and setting up the altar, and that puts me in the right mindset. So, pre-ritual, I guess. What is your favorite type of magic? Color magic. I'm very visual. Colors have a lot of symbolic meaning to me. So whether it's cord magic or candle magic or something, color associations are very important to me. Name your top 5 herbs. Sage, cinnamon, frankincense, anything really aromatic, juniper, clove. Let's say I'm missing something. Rosemary. I'm totally cheating. Coffee. Coffee is the only thing that I've ever used as a witch's mirror. A bowl of coffee. For scrying purposes, it's been uh, very effective. What is your favorite type of divination? While I like coffee scrying, I actually like fire scrying more, and that has to do with the ritual for it. Since you're dealing with an open flame, you have to consider time and place and the materials you're going to use, and then building the fire and watching it grow and then watching it die away. So that whole process is very meditative for me. Plus, there's something about sitting on the edge of that circle where you have the warmth in front of you and the cold on your back. You're facing the light and the darkness is behind you, and I don't know, being on that threshold puts me in the right mindset, I guess. How did you come to practice witchcraft? Uh, the short answer is a friend of mine in 7th grade gave me a set of runes and a corresponding book. And so I started reading about it, but I did so from the standpoint of this is interesting history. You have a group of people who used a magical tool. But when I read more into it, I realized that the pagan community uh, was alive and kicking. And when I realized how strongly a lot of them associated with reducing carbon footprint and social equality rights and that kind of thing, it was a strong draw to me. So, uh, am I coven or solitary? I am solitary. I've never worked with a group before. Not that I wouldn't want to. I, it's just been a really long time that I'm used to working by myself, and I've kind of tweaked everything to fit me better. So if I was going to work with a group of people, it would require me to be kind of adaptive at this point, which is fine. It's just it hasn't come up yet. What is my favorite holiday? I would say the two equinoxes, Ostar and Mabon. Uh, in part because those two times of the year, it's neither too hot nor too cold, so I can do either indoor or outdoor ritual, and I have a lot of energy during those 2 points of the year, so I think there's a positive correlation there. What is your favorite witchy movie? I'm gonna say Practical Magic because I like the house and I like their garden and I like the whole island, which I know is not what they intended, that an inanimate object should be a favorite character, but come on, the apothecary room alone is like fantastic. So yeah, I'm willing to watch the movie just for the house alone. What is your favorite book for both learning and fantasy purposes? I do read some fantasy. It's usually historical fiction, but unless I'm counting DJ Conway, I don't read anything with witches in it. Um, my favorite fantasy series is the Deathgate Cycle series by Weiss and Hickman, and that has runes in it, but they're not Norse runes, so I don't know if that counts. And I've never read the Harry Potter series. Not that I think that counts either, but as far as learning, I have so many. Uh, Cheap and easy answer again would probably be The Urban Primitive by Caldera and Schwarzstein. I think that was the first book that validated my view that the dichotomy of nature and people, civilization, cities didn't have to exist, that you could still find spirits to work with even in the concrete jungle. So I really enjoyed that book. What is my favorite witchy show? I don't watch a lot of telly, so I don't have a good answer for this. I know Charmed was inspirational to a lot of people in my generation and helped them kind of like discover the craft. But I don't know if putting eye candy on on the screen makes for compelling drama. I've never seen it, so I don't know. What is your favorite color and what does it mean to you? I do color magic. Almost everything I do is color related. So now I don't have a favorite color. It used to be yellow when I was like really small. But nowadays, uh, I tend to wear a lot of mossy greens and smoky blues and a lot of UPS brown. So I guess that would make me an autumn, but I don't have a favorite color per se. What type of animal, creature, person is your spirit guide and or totem animal? The bulk of my work is with spirit animals and plants and stones, and even what the Romans referred to as genus loci or spirits of the place. So, but it's kind of a two-way relationship, rather than like some predetermined bond where I, do a meditation and kind of an animal's there waiting for me. It's more like I have to go out and introduce myself and make an effort to form these relationships. Whether it's like a friendship or a working partnership kind of thing, and it can be long term or short term. And I've been approached by spirits that have needed help, so it's again two ways. So I don't have my own like totem animal. Right now I'm working with frog for the first time in an effort to deal with an allergy. So we'll see how that goes. How many past lives do you think you've had? We know that matter and energy can't be created or destroyed. So I imagine the same thing applies to spirit energy. That doesn't mean we're not transformed when we die, but nobody has an answer to that, so I don't have an answer for that either. What is your element? Mostly oxygen, about 65%, then about almost 20% carbon and about 10% hydrogen. My body is mostly made up of water. What is your astrology sign? I'm an Aries, and I think I've been told that my rising sun is a Libra, but I don't know what any of that means, so Who's your goddess and god? On my shrine is a statue of Thoth and a framed picture of Seshat. It could be because I'm a lifelong student that I have a very strong affinity to them. I'm not sure, I don't really question it so much, but yeah. What is your favorite crystal? I have a tendency to kind of collect around me like obsidian and smoky quartz and hematite and kind of darker stones that are good for grounding purposes. I need that. But my favorite stone would be this, which is my god stone or my sunstone. It's yellow calcite, not sunstone, but it represents the sun for me. I was given this about 20 years ago, and yeah, so this is the stone I've worked with the longest and the most often, despite its sunny disposition. It's got a very masculine energy, very protective, very projective, and yeah, so we have a good working relationship. And yeah, so this crystal, yellow calcite of all things. But what is my favorite witchy tool? That would be my blade EO, hands down. Blades are a symbol of change for me, and it has definitely helped as a catalyst for essentially shifts in consciousness for me. And what is my favorite witchy craft to do? I am not crafty. There's a reason I don't use power tools. I just, yeah, I'm not handy at all. I'll say that as far as creating things, I like cooking a lot. And almost always there's a magical intention, if nothing else, just health. So I tend to do mostly things from scratch. And there's something about cooking which I think, I mean, it's conjecture on my part, but I would imagine it's probably the earliest form of magic that like ancient people did. Not just like petitioning to gods or spirits for protection or simply not to be destroyed, but, you know, an active, conscious effort on people to like change the world around them, because they could take basic ingredients and add fire, and suddenly they had something else. So I think that observation of transforming something into something else had a big impact on the psyche of early people. So I imagine I'm kind of touching into that when I prepare mac and cheese. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I like cooking, and I will apply magical intent when I do that. A shout out to my 5 favorite witches on YouTube. There's a lot of you. I wouldn't be subscribed to you if I didn't think you all were fantastic. But I didn't write anything down. I'll add it to the undercarriage afterward. I'll put 5 names and add it there because people deserve shoutouts. Anyway, yeah, so that's all the questions. If you didn't have a chance to do this tag in February, you should do it in March. It's good questions. So anyway, everybody enjoy your weekend. Cheers.